joining us for National Focus. I'm Shaakira Pierre. Coming up, Prime Minister to chair heads of government meeting, Dominica stands in solidarity with Venezuela, and outgoing DYBT Board highlights achievements. Stay with us for details of these and other stories after this.
Think water, think life. Water refreshes, restores, cleans, and enhances growth. Potable water is a benchmark for development. DOWASCO is serious about its mandate to ensure easy access to potable water island-wide and provide sewage services for a cleaner environment. DOWASCO is your water and sewage company.
Thanks for staying with us. Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit will chair the upcoming CARICOM Heads of Government meeting to be held in Georgetown, Guyana from July 4th to 6, 2016. CARICOM Secretary General Ambassador Erwin Larrock revealed at a meeting with media representatives organized by Guyana's Government Information Agency that security issues, the threat to correspondent banking, the regional single market, and the still unresolved matter of stateless Haitians of Dominican descent are among items on a packed agenda to go before the heads. The meeting will begin with an opening ceremony at the Guyana Cultural Center on July 4th at 5 p.m. The plenary sessions on Tuesday 5th and Wednesday 6th July will take place at the Pegasus Hotel in Georgetown. In the light of Venezuela's current economic and political situation, the Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit pledges Dominica's unwavering support to the people of Venezuela. The Dominica leader on Wednesday addressed the ceremony for the 11th anniversary of the signing of the Petro-Caribbean Energy Corporation Agreement between Venezuela and Dominica. The Honorable Prime Minister vowed that as long as he is Prime Minister, Dominica will stand in solidarity with Venezuela.
It's a matter of principle. Relationships between countries and relationships between one another as individuals cannot be different. It's the same. A friend is your friend. And you must stand in solidarity with your friend whenever that person requires support. And if Venezuela has been a friend of Dominica, a true friend of Dominica, an undisputed friend of Dominica. Not now. Venezuela has always been a friend of Dominica. Whether when the Labour Party was in office after the independence in 1978, when David Eugene Charles became Prime Minister, the first president who ever visited Dominica was from Venezuela. And whether the UWP was in office, Venezuela always stood in solidarity and support with all of its governments. And the least we can do, irrespective of our political views, is to show gratitude to the government and people of Venezuela.
Honorable Dr. Skerrit commended the efforts of Honorable Senator Francine Barron, an ambassador to the United States and permanent representative to the Organization of American States, OAS, His Excellency Hubert Charles, for carrying the government's torch, especially at the OAS. He stated that efforts are being made to undermine a constitutionally established government. He insisted that the Labour Party administration only advocates the ideals of democracy and does not interfere in the domestic affairs of Venezuela.
It is for the people of Venezuela to determine what happens to the government of Venezuela. Not for me, not for the Organization of American States, and their efforts by some to undermine a government elected by the people. Irrespective of who that government is, we must always, as countries, respect the democratic rights of people to determine who the government ought to be at any given time. Venezuela is not less democratic than any other country in the Western Hemisphere. So what makes us believe that we can lecture them and tell the people who should they elect as a government? That's their right. And it's on this principle of maintaining democratic ideals that Dominica continues to stand in defense and in solidarity with Venezuela, and will speak to anybody or any country who decides it has the right to undermine the constitutional government of Venezuela.
Venezuela's ambassador to Dominica, His Excellency Hayden Pirela Sanchez, at the ceremony stated that although Venezuela's situation is not the best at this moment, the Venezuelan government is working to normalize the economic and political challenges affecting the people. He commented that the Venezuelan and international media are focusing on the negatives, making the situation appear worse than it is. Honorable Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit insists that the challenges which Venezuela is experiencing is not unique to the country. He says the leaders of countries must ensure that there is mutual trust, respect, and they must be able to rely on each other in times of need.
In Venezuela, you have a political situation where, like here sometimes, the opposition, anything you do that's good and beneficial to the country, they will cry evil over it and give the world the impression that Dominica is the worst place to live and to visit. If you read the post online, and it's almost the same thing, it's the same script they read from. So this is what Venezuela is going through. And then sometimes you have people who are supposed to be reporting the facts and not opinions and personal views. You report the facts, let the people interpret the facts as they wish.
Government, in collaboration with the International Finance Corporation, IFC World Bank Group, has made it even easier for Dominicans to register their businesses or companies online. A further improved Phase 2 of the online application portal, previously presented in 2015, was launched at the Fortune Hotel on Wednesday. Minister for Justice, Immigration and National Security, Honorable Raven Blackmore, is proud of the project, which he says will raise Dominica's position on the list of countries where it is easier to do business. Dominica is currently 69 of 189 countries worldwide.
The index for ranking the countries, I think, was developed by the World Bank Group. And you have a ranking from 1 to 189. So if we are at 69, it means that we're doing something like less than half, which is not too bad. But of course, we have to ensure that we strive for the top, number one. And that is going to require much more work on our part. But I think that what we're doing here today is a demonstration, because the fact is, very often we make ourselves very hard, and I like to do that. But it's only late last year we actually launched Phase 1. And notwithstanding the passage of Erica, the fact that we're here today is indeed a clear manifestation that we're taking this thing very seriously.
This new Phase 2 of the project means an enhanced user interface and additional features which will make registration of companies seamless and quick. This electronic platform streamlines a number of procedures of the Dominica Social Security, the Inland Revenue Department, and the Company and Intellectual Property Office, the three agencies most intricately involved in business registration. Ocean Suleiman of the IFC World Bank Group is project leader. She spoke of some of the benefits of the project.
The benefits is the fact that we'll have ease to access information on register company and other business online. You will be able to have, the procedure will be integrated via electronic platform at the national level, which is very important because in the case of Bolivia, for example, we're working at the municipal level. So I'll let you think how difficult it is to actually have a system that is working at the national level. Then we'll have seamless interoperability with IRD and DSS, regional integration, which is very important, and again, not only in CARICOM, but also the entire Latin America and Caribbean region. Transparently, and maybe the most important, security, because if you have everything set in your system online, you improve your security and the security of the government.
She praised Dominica for being the first country in the Caribbean and Latin America to achieve this. On average, the time to register a company has been reduced from 12 to 5 days. The website for registration is cipo.gov.dm. 400 companies have already been registered via the upgraded system since it went live in May. The Dominica Youth Business Trust, an institution which provides young entrepreneurs with the knowledge to establish a sustainable business, hosted a press briefing on Wednesday, June 29th to present accomplishments of the outgoing board from the period 2014 to 2016. The outgoing board comprised outgoing DYBT chairperson Josephine Deschausses-Teat, deputy chair Bernard Bonteef, board secretary Eardley Pierre, trustee Frederica James, trustee Chelsea Frampton, trustee Kim Simon Gardier, trustee Vincent Etienne, trustee leader Andrew, and trustee Bernardine Sabroch. This briefing also served as an opportunity to enhance the visibility of the DYBT and share with the general public the positive initiatives being undertaken by young entrepreneurs. Outgoing DYBT chairperson Josephine Deschausses-Teat described some of the achievements of the organization.
The DYBT obtained 5 years unconditional re-accreditation within the Youth Business International YBI network. The Trust also signed 2 memoranda of understanding, one with the Anguilla Get Set project, where a strategic partnership alliance was established, allowing both parties to share best practices, and secondly, as a founding member of the Commonwealth Alliance for Young Entrepreneurs, Caribbean and Canada, CAI, whose primary mandate is to improve the delivery of services and programs to youth-led businesses. The Trust successfully implemented the Youth Entrepreneurship Program for the Eastern Caribbean, YEPEC, in Dominica, which resulted in the establishment of its own office on Kennedy Avenue in May 2015. This allowed our entrepreneurs an enhanced business development environment.
Other accomplishments include the introduction of an elevator pitch segment to the Business Plan Innovative Award to allow young entrepreneurs to be able to sell themselves, the receipt of 2 major regional awards, the Caribbean Regional Startup Young Entrepreneur Awards and the Caribbean Regional Technology Young Entrepreneur Award in Barbados in 2015, as well as collaborations with institutions such as the Dominica State College and Junior Achievement Dominica.
The board continues to seek funding for its many programs and has received a little over $90,000 under the Banana Accompanying Measures BAM for bookkeeping training for agripreneurs. Dominica Youth Business Trust has reached out to the Dominica Manufacturing Association, DMA, and the Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce, DAIC, with the hope of having our entrepreneurs to learn and benefit from the business acumen and talent within these 2 organizations.
The board also embarked on its first annual DYBT Trustee Road Trip last year, geared towards supporting young entrepreneurs, and visited the businesses of 10 entrepreneurs around the island. Honorable Minister for Agriculture and Fisheries Johnson Drago says his ministry is pleased to be collaborating with the DYBT and praised the program.
We have trained within the ministry in just recent time over 70 individuals in Fonseca, Saint-Sauveur, and Layo in outboard motor engine repair special program. The training cost is in excess of $110,000 EC dollars, and it is already having positive impact on the trainees from the various communities. An additional big initiative will soon take place in Layo, where there are plans to construct a number of fiberglass boats and establish an outboard engine repair shop. We are currently reviewing the proposal to facilitate this development.
He gave special recognition to the Youth Development Division Skills Training Program Boat Making Module in Castle Bruce. At the ceremony, entrepreneur Kimani Morilon of Saint-Sauveur was symbolically presented a fishing boat valued at $25,000 EC dollars, which was constructed by the trainees of the boat making module. During the ceremony, prizes for the DYBT poster competition, My Business of the Future, and essay competition, Shadow and Entrepreneur, were presented to the winners. First place for the poster competition was won by Joshua St. Jean of the Walton Waven Primary, and first place for Shadow competition was won by Sharana Alexander of the St. Martin High School. You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
In the Government of Dominica Internal Directory mobile app, available for download from the Google Play Store, One Mobile Market, and the Government of Dominica's website. Access to all ministries and sub-departments' phone, email and office addresses and websites. Simply select a ministry and the sub-department. You can dial directly from the app or save the numbers to your phone contacts. It's convenience at your fingertips.
Is my passport ready for pickup? Good. It really works.
Download the Government of Dominica Internal Directory mobile app today.
Welcome back. The fourth in a series of consultations for the development of a policy for micro, small and medium-sized enterprises, MSME, was held at the Fortune Hotel on Thursday. The consultations, organized by the Ministry of Commerce, Enterprise and Small Business Development, began on June 8th with entrepreneurs from Petit Savan to Collio. Another was held for those from Bioche to Marigot, and the third for entrepreneurs from Dalis to Kalinago territory. The policy will guide the framework within which small and medium-sized businesses operate in Dominica. Honorable Minister for Commerce, Enterprise and Small Business Development, Rosalind Paul, urged service providers attending Thursday's consultation to give life to the policy.
You are critical to ensuring an ecosystem that allows for entrepreneurship and for ease of doing business. So I know that we're going to get your support. We seek to strengthen alliances with you, all the service providers, and to ensure we have this tripartite system, the public, the private sector, and the academia, where all of you have a very important role to play.
The Honorable Minister explained that the process is fundamental to having an effective legislation and regulatory framework for the further development of MSMEs in Dominica.
Some pertinent questions that you'll be discussing in terms of access to productive resources, gaps in legislation, how we can get small businesses to maximize the potential to get into, to take advantage of available niche markets, to take advantage of opportunities in the CSME, the issues that affect special interest groups like manufacturing, agro-processing, service providers, the level of export readiness. We would hope that you discuss all of those issues that would be fed into the policy and would give us a tool, an instrument that would increase or enhance MSMEs and its contribution to the economy in Dominica.
Lead facilitator of the consultations told participants this is their chance to contribute to the process.
The output of this effort is a very concise document that is in fact a policy and not a program or business plan, so that any stakeholder, be they a service provider, an entrepreneur, a donor agency, a foreign, whatever, anybody can take the policy, read it, and determine how they relate to it and how they affect their program, or how they craft their program to be able to work within the policy. So I'm trying to sort of dampen your expectations and not expect to have another one of those Bibles that fit nicely on the shelf or can be a good implement to keep your other papers down.
Meanwhile, Assistant Director of Create Caribbean Inc., the research institute at the Dominica State College, Dr. Hermancia Eugene, was tasked with creating a database of MSMEs and their needs. Entrepreneurs were questioned on the demographics, the products which they offer, their knowledge of the financial options available to them, and legislations that applies.
We had individuals who were very happy to answer the questions and be a part of this policy development. We had those that were a bit reluctant, especially when we started to ask about finances. We had the individuals who did not want to take part because they didn't see the relevance of it. And of course, we had those that started the surveys and stopped short of the entire survey. At the end of it, we realized there are lots of small MSMEs, medium, small and micro enterprises in Dominica, and the importance of them to the Dominica economy. And these individuals need to be allowed to understand or made to understand how important they are for the economic growth of Dominica and realize what is out there for them, how they can influence their growth themselves. Some of our recommendations, of course, is training, because we realize a lot of the individuals have either high school or primary school education. So there's some need for training, some need for understanding what their needs are. There's some need for better communication between stakeholders and these MSMEs.
The final national consultation, which will host representatives from each of the 4 consultations over the past month, will take place on July 6. Coming up, your Creole highlights from McPherson, St. Luce.
Alors tout le monde, bienvenue à ces nouvelles en créole. Non moins, c'est McPherson, St. Luce. Premièrement, Dominique célèbre 11e anniversaire Petro-Caraïbes et puis Venezuela. Il y a une grande cérémonie pour place en cruise Coconut qui était attendue par Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, ambassadeur Venezuela pour Dominique His Excellency Hayden Pierre et ministre Petro-Caraïbes Honorable Reginald Ostring. Plusieurs d'autres ministres gouvernement et travailleurs Petro-Caraïbes aussi attendus. Selon Premier ministre Honorable Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, Petro-Caraïbes a bien signifié unité entre Dominique et Venezuela. Et de Dominique qui toujours embrassé travail ancien président Hugo Chavez qui commençait le programme là. Le Premier ministre a dit à ce compte gouvernement Dominique, bon grâce qu'à aller pour Petro-Caraïbes pour bon travail au développement Dominique. Le Premier ministre a aussi créé à ce travail Petro-Caraïbes pour continuer le travail et puis diligence pour développement Dominique. En la nouvelle, on politique qui est positionné moun fait et puis registré business en Dominique, montre en l'autre phase pour implémentation. Ministre Justice en collaboration et puis l'Office Intellectual Property, l'office qui est responsable pour registrer compagnie, ensemble et puis Banque Latin, lancé deuxième phase projet à mercredi. Ministre pour Justice, Honorable Ribbon Blackmore, délivré une adresse en cérémonie pour te lancer projet là mercredi.
Ça nous a fait, c'est fait plus easy pour les gens qui commencent à enregistrer business à Dominique. Vous savez, c'est bien important pour là où commencer un business, pour pas prendre trop de temps pour enregistrer business ça. So nous faisons tout online product ça. L'année qui passe, nous avons phase 1. À présent, nous savons qu'il y a moins de temps pour enregistrer un business dans le présent. Vous avez l'autre temps avant, à présent, en un jour, vous savez enregistrer un business en Dominique à présent. So, vous allez assister online, c'est pas en ligne, hein? Online. Pour enregistrer le business, vous avez tout ce processus là, on peut aller pour faire certains business enregistrés. So, c'est un bagage qui est bien important pour nous. Nous avons support de World Bank. Nous avons pile monde, DIC, Moonhard Bar Association, nous avons pile organisation à Dominique. Nous avons travaillé avec tous ces gens, parce que nous avons register business tout le temps à Dominique. So, c'est une confiance qui est bien important pour nous.
Selon le ministre Blackmore, le gouvernement a mis attention à ce business en pays là.
So, c'est un bagage qui est bien important pour nous. Quand le gouvernement, les partis, si nous faisons certains, nous mettons tout le système en place pour avancer dans le pays. Parce que, plusieurs fois, nous mettons l'entrée à ces bagages qui go chemin, go place. Mais il y a des petits bagages nous passent qui est bien important pour avancer dans le pays. Et les bagages temps et pour mon enregistrer et commencer un business dans le pays. C'est un bagage qui est bien important pour payer ça à développer. Est-ce que vous comprenez?
Oui. Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson St. Luce. Au revoir.
While listening, you may be tempted to let your eyes or thoughts wander. Resist this temptation and focus on the speaker. Much of what is communicated is done so non-verbally. Pick up those non-verbal cues and you'll benefit from hearing what people mean beyond what they say. That's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. Live streaming is also available on our YouTube channel 24 hours a day. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Shaakira Pierre. Thanks for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.